Hi guys, Sandra here of the blog thesensiblemom.com, and today is day +2, but I'm going to update on day 0 since I didn't get a chance to do it that day. And we've been having some issues with the internet here in the hospital, and so it started working a whole lot better yesterday afternoon. So I'm gonna try to catch up here, and for this video though I'm going to mostly focus on day 0. So for that I'm gonna actually start with day -1. On day -1, at night I heard like this beeping sound I hadn't heard before, and when I went to go look at his IV pole, I noticed that it said feeding complete. So I called the nurse, and the CNA came in and she turned it off, and I thought that was kind of strange because I thought that he was supposed to be eating nutrition continuously. So I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe something changed. But then I looked over at David around 15 or 20 minutes later, and I noticed that his feeding tube was completely out of his body. So it had come out, and so that's why the machine had gone off and said feeding complete, even though there was still food in the bag and everything. So that night, the nurses didn't put the feeding tube back in, and the next morning, I talked to the doctor, and we decided we weren't going to put the feeding tube back in. All we really needed David to do was take one med by mouth, and that was the Atarax. And it was extremely important. That's the med that he's getting instead of taking Benadryl, which he is technically allergic to. That's the med that was extremely important for him to get before he actually had his transplant. So when David woke up, I let him know what happened, and I told him that we can either put the feeding tube back in or he could take the Atarax by mouth, and he decided that he wanted to drink his medicine. So it did take some time, and the doctor actually was the one who finally was really creative and got him to take his medicine, so that was great. The transplant actually took place around 10:25ish in the morning. I thought it was going to happen around the 1 o'clock time because people had kept saying that that's sort of around the time that the transplants usually take place. But when the doctor came in to see me that morning around 9 a.m., she was like, I had them working late into the night to get the cells ready and get everything, get them, processed and everything. So, and she said that she had asked for them to be up on the floor to give to David at 10 a.m. And so I was like, okay. So I got on the phone, called my husband, let him know so they could start getting ready to come to the hospital. And he didn't get to be here for the transplant, but he did get to, he did get here like right afterwards. And so we got to spend some time with David afterwards. Overall, it went very, very well. Very well. Because David's getting the Atarax, or he was getting the Atarax over the Benadryl, he was awake, he was alert, he was in a good mood, he was talking to the doctor, and she brought him a toy, and he was just in a really good mood. He was like, that's my bone marrow. He was just he just did, really, really well. So very happy, no reactions at all. On transplant day, his hemoglobin was 9.8, and today I think it's like at 10.3, so even better. His platelets were at 75. His platelets are down to 45 today, so they did go down, and I'm anticipating that he'll need a transfusion in a couple of days, just for platelets though. So ANC was 0, and white blood cells were less than 0.1. So everything was right where they wanted it to be. And anything else that David is on total isolation, so he cannot leave his hospital room as of around 4 p.m. on day -1. He has been in his room, and he cannot leave. So we have to keep him safe from germs, and keep him pretty much in this little room here that gets cleaned on a regular basis, and that's been especially cleaned for David. And we just have to, keep him away from germs, keep him away from people who are sick or may be sick, and until his numbers come up, until his counts come up, and we know that the bone marrow has engrafted and is working in David's body. So it's been interesting because every day he's got more energy and he's more active, and but he's finding plenty of things to do in the room. So I'll talk more about that later. That's pretty much it. I will try to either add on to this video a little bit of video that I took during the actual transplant itself, or I can I may just upload that separately. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, that was day 0. I'm thanking the Lord for that day, and it was a really special day. I'm breathing a huge sigh of relief that that it's over, it's done, and David is feeling better, and he's getting better and doing well overall. So that's all for day 0. I will update again later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
One younger sister, right?
Yes.
What's your sister's name?
Elizabeth, and she's 1.
She's 1? Oh, that's pretty cool. And then what are your brother's names?
Isaac, Nathan, Lana, Daddy, Elizabeth, and Lana, and Nathan, and Mama, and that's all I have.
You have a big family. That's pretty nice.
I have, wait, first of all, I have Elizabeth, Mommy,
Elizabeth
Daddy.
and Daddy. And Isaac. Did you say Isaac?
No, I forgot that was Isaac, Daddy, and Mommy, and
You have another brother, right?
yeah, David and Mommy. That's all I have.
That's all you have?
Look at this is the only game I have in here. No more.
That's such a cool thing you got, right?
Mom, look at this is the only game I got in here.
I see. That's a Star Wars game.
Yep. And I have to take good care of this
Yes.
so I don't lose it.
Yes. You're going to have so much fun with that, aren't you? Yeah.
And this is the home button.
That's the home button?
Right here where I'm hooking.
Yeah.
See, the home button.
Yeah.
I'm already playing.
That's so neat. You're already playing.
You're playing with your imagination, huh?
It's gonna fight the bad stuff when I do this.
Yeah?
It's gonna fight the bad stuff in my body to fight it.
Yeah, so the bone marrow is going to go to the middle of your bones, right? And it's going to start working.
And it's gonna fight all the bad stuff, even the mold.
Yes. So
I'm gonna start working on that.
it's going to start working. Yeah. Very exciting.